Hello guys, today we will take a look at some of the best setups for the week ahead. As beginning, we will go with Aussie Chief. As we saw it from the previous week, price here respecting the support area here. From our trade signal that we had, price stopped our stop loss just right on the pip here, but we re-entered and we recovered all the trade and also the small pip. The reason that I closed here is because the price can continue inside this pattern, and after that we can see the downward movement again. Anyway, let's see how this will develop, because we can take the look on the breakout as well if we see any good setup. For the time being, I didn't want to risk on this scenario because it's a bit tricky. The next one is OZM. Very nice scenario. We have the price that is facing strong resistance from the upper side. Let's go on the 4-hour. We can see this type of channel of ascending channel here, and the price is developing. Here we can see something very tricky. I'm not expecting a move higher, but a type of wide consolidation before the price will move down. So we may have a very nice possibility this way on OZM. A very good scenario that I'm looking at too is also Aussie New Zealand. We can see that the price is moving inside the range trading here. What is very beautiful for the time being is that we can have the possibility for the price to create a type of triple top here, and this will be confirmed only the price is going to break the neckline, and after that it can move lower. I have shared this setup also on the group on Friday, but also one scenario is that the price can continue moving higher again. In this situation we are going to have the range trading for an expanding pattern here, so this pattern can develop inside this situation. This can be in the same scenario as Euro USD that we had during the previous month up to the previous week, so it was 1.5 months in overall. Another very nice pattern is EuroCAD. As we can see, price tested the bottom of the structure, that we can see a price support from the downside, and now the price is creating this type of inverted head and shoulder pattern. What we need to be careful here, so this can develop, it's not ending yet, it's very small, and if we go on the lower time frames, this is getting a bit tricky now. Look at the situation, we can have the same head and shoulder pattern here, so probably the price can break also lower and to test the bottom again. I wouldn't be surprised for this movement, but it can also jump higher and it can test the top of the structures. So these are the scenarios. Anyway, we need to fight a very good entry point here, because I don't want to risk a high stop loss. Here it comes as 80 pips, so we need to see how we can figure out to open this trade. But the pattern looks very good, and the trade in overall looks very good. And also, if we see on the 4-hour time frame, we can have a type of bearish pattern, bullish pattern here, sorry. So the price has chances to break higher at this point. Let's go with the other one, Euro Chief. As we can see, price here made 1, 2, 3 movement. We had the 4th movement as a type of wedge, and probability is high that the price can continue for the 5th wave, so we can be in this situation. 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 5th wave here. Anyway, if we see it on a higher time frame on the weekly, sorry, on the daily chart, look at the pattern. This was very ugly. The price here continued to move lower without any strong momentum. So probably this was the first impulse that we are having, and the price can continue to make the same strange movement as the previous wave. So this is very possible scenario in this situation. Another trade that we followed during the previous month, from 1 month and a half, it was Euro USD. Finally we can see the price that broke out here. We traded these moves several times. Not all of them were in good profits, but in small profits. None of them was in loss, so all was fine. I closed this trade here because of Powell's speech. We had 2 consecutive days. The first one with very strong news events. The first one was non-farm payroll, and that is very difficult to be traded because of the market volatility and speculation, so it's better to stay out. And after that it was Powell's speech that he had to testify, so it was better to close the trade, because in this type of technical patterns we can have the breakout in both directions here, or our stop loss could have been reached from volatility, and after that the price could have moved on the other side. That was why I closed it. Anyway, we will take a closer look during this week, because we can initiate our trade here, and probability will be very high for a bullish movement now. As I see, probably we were on the first movement, so let's suppose that this was the first impulsive wave, and now we are going for the third wave, that it can end up at 1.16 or 1.17, so we can see this type of movement now. So let's see how this will develop as pattern, but it's very beautiful because the consolidation here was very large, so the market is just trying to push this currency pair higher as well. Another beautiful trade that we joined was GBP yen. On the daily chart we can see an ugly head and shoulder pattern. You can consider it whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Let's go on the 4-hour time frame here. We sold this when price was at 157.18, and we closed at the pattern here. This is what I wanted to show you at this moment. I closed it because it's very dangerous in this situation. The range trading, let me delete this, is the same scenario. Price could have made this type of movement here, so it was something that I anticipated this move. What price did was it moved lower, and this was the target that was shared on my trading view profile. Look at here, and the price was reached. Anyway, it doesn't matter how it went for the analysis. What matters are our profits here, so it was again, very good trade. Anyway, we'll look how this will develop, because it's getting a bit tricky, but from the technical perspective the price should test the zone that it can continue to move lower. Anyway, let's see tomorrow, because we need some volume. Don't open immediately this trade again. The next trade that I'm watching is GBP New Zealand. Very good trade here, very volatile. We are on the 4-hour chart here. We need to see more price development from bottom to top of this small wave. We can see 170 pips is too much, so we need to find a good entry point, but this pattern can be confirmed very soon, so I don't see it moving higher, because GBP is showing weakness also in other pairs. If this is going to be only the correction, we can see another wave up, but let's see, because it's not the best time now to sell or to buy the GBP New Zealand. but I'm watching this very closely during these days. Another good trade that we are in sell from the top here. Just let me show it. As you can see, from GBP USD, we joined this trade when it was at 1.3740. This was our entry point. Price is moving lower. Our stop loss is in break even, so even if the price breaks higher here, it doesn't matter at all, because we will just take only a break even trade, nothing more. If this is going to move lower, these are higher targets here, so we need to focus on the other time frames after that, but we need to see the development. On the 4 hour we can see bearish candle, one bearish, two bearish. The close was very small, and also if we go on the daily chart, two beautiful patterns. Look at this pin bar pattern here, that was the previous day, and the next one is more bearish as well, so we can see the bearish continuation here. Okay, in weekly it doesn't look so good, but it's all good if you check the other ones. Look at the reversals that we have had here, so it's good. We are going to trade the daily, so it doesn't matter for us. Another trade that I'm having in my watch list is New Zealand USD. Price broke out from this green area here, but it didn't manage to move higher. It pulled back again. As we can see, we have this pattern. This can turn out to be a bearish flag here, or probably the price can move lower and it can move higher by developing this wedge, this flag here. So let's see, because it's not already yet and it's risky in overall. Anyway, if I take a decision, I will share the signal in our Telegram group, so nothing to worry about that. Also, S&P 100 during the previous week, if you remember, we analyzed this on the daily chart. Very beautiful pattern. Price was in the middle, and as I said, the chances were very high for the price to test the low of the pattern, this blue line here. Price tested it very well by completing this pin bar, corrected the wave. We can see another retest, so now the price is ready to move higher again from this point. So I'm still very bearish, very bullish on S&P 500. Very nice trade here. Nasdaq or US 100. This was one of the potential scenarios here for the price to move a bit lower than the pattern, and look at what we have now. So you can find this, all of this, on the previous video analysis that I've shared, and price can move higher again. Anyway, this is very possible again. Price can test this minor support area before moving higher, but it looks good for the time being to go on the bullish side again. It looks very good. Another trade that many of you closed profits during Friday is US oil. We have discussed this pattern during the previous week. Look at the price movement. Now the price is testing a very strong resistance area. Also, if we go on the weekly time frame, we will see that on the wave from the bottom to the top here, we are almost on the highest high at this level for this wave, and now the price is testing another area. So let's go on the daily time frame, because we can trade weekly. It's for the long-term investors, it's not for us. Price is testing the resistance zone. this candle closed very bullish, so it's not a good sign to sell at all. On Friday I shared this channel that was developing at this area. Price is moving higher again, so we don't have a sell setup yet. Momentum is very high, so we need to see a sign of reversal at this point, or probably the price can continue to reach the pattern, and after that we can see the move down again from the high of the top. It's something that it happened also in the past, that we predicted before 2 months, as we see the entry point here. Natural gas, very good trade on this one. Some of the guys on the group wrote me they were in this trade. During the previous week on Sunday the price was at this level, so it was at this box, and look at what happened. The price reached all our targets with one movement during this week, and we saw this movement on Friday here. So I see that the price is testing the support area, and it can move higher, but it can move also lower, so it's getting tricky. I don't want to anticipate any movement yet. If we go on the daily chart, we can see two movements, one very strong bullish, one very strong bearish, and one bullish reaction after the price tested and made another low. So let's stay out and let's see how the price will develop on natural gas. I wouldn't bet that it is going to move higher. I don't like this kind of developments. Also the pattern here, look at the volume, is very low. The candles are very weak in this situation. Another trade that one of the guys in the group asked me about, silver. We can see that price tested these areas here, very strong support areas, but the problem is that the price now is between this one and this second area here. So we can see it also moving lower again. It's not clear at all. If price is going to break higher, we can see the retest of the top and the retest of the blue zone. So I want to see more development on silver. We can trade it right now, on probably we can wait for the price to test the minor support area, and we can buy, but by placing the stop loss inside below the major support area at this point. Another very good scenario was gold. As I mentioned during the previous week, it was very tricky at this point because it had two scenarios, or the upward movement here for the pattern completion, and what I supported more was the bullish scenario, and this is the line that I placed for the stop loss. Anyway, I don't like to trade gold very often. We can see that price moved higher and it reached the first price area here. So now we are in the same scenario as silver, where the price is facing a strong resistance from above and we don't have any new development. What can happen if the price is going to keep this strong support? We can see the price create any type of flag, and after that it can move higher again. Targets are still valid, so let's see how the price will develop here. So that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and see you during the week. Bye bye.